Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my latest video I can't wait to get into with you. In fact, I think I busted open this whole darn thing. Again, this is my best guess. However, I'm excited to bring to you some evidence and things I haven't brought before. And also, from start to finish, you've got to watch the whole thing. There's so much good stuff in here. And I'm going to stay on a particular track, so I could veer off into all kinds of rabbit trails and a lot of details. Each different little subject I could hit, oh my goodness, for hours. I have so much. And then it, pairs back to things I've talked about for years in so many videos. But I think this is finally it. So let's get right into it without any further ado. So again, I am Exalted Lamb 1 on Telegram or The Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube. And my motto has always been having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. Ephesians 5:11. My thing is what the Lord showed me in dreams and visions years ago, as much as 10 years ago now. I got dreams and visions of the end times and things going on with the United States falling, being destroyed. That kicks off the tribulation. And I've been sharing these videos for now almost 7 years on YouTube. It's crazy. And I think that 7-year mark is where it's at from when I've been sharing. It's just crazy. We're literally right up against it here at the beginning of August, the 7 years exactly that I've been sharing. And I'm just so blown away by all that. So I want to get into this stuff with you. But I also want to say that for you naysayers and all that stuff, don't even bother commenting. I would delete you in 2 seconds. You're gone. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, whatever, I don't care. You want to make false claims, all kinds of things about me, don't even bother. You're going to be deleted in 2 seconds, so don't even try. So this is for the people who want truth. They want evidence. They want not look at things on the surface and dig deep. Dig deep in life and in what's being hidden in plain sight is what the elites call it. They call it hidden plain sight. So without any further ado, let's move forward. So I want to deal first of all with coincidence. Okay, coincidence. Without getting the full definitions, when two or more related events occur. But I want to highlight this right here. Without any planning. Okay, that's what a lot of people believe, that there is a lot of coincidence, especially if you watch movies. There's coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. And these things in life are planned. A majority of the things that you people consider coincidence, they are planned. You could call them, well, I don't want to say it. The CIA came up with a term after the Kennedy assassination, and it was conspirators theoritals. Anyway, which exactly equals, by the way, this date I'm going to talk about here in a second. But anyway, these things are planned. There are conspiracies out there in so many levels, including on the demonic level that's behind all the leaders in this world. So I'm going to show you. My videos pretty much prove it. I'm going to show that to you. One of the rules in Freemasonry, and Freemasons pretty much, and other secret societies, but predominantly Freemason rules the world in the trillionaire families, the 13 different families that rule the world, okay? And they're about to put their main guy as the head guy and to control the world in their technocracy cabal, basically. So the Kabbalistic rule of Kalel states that one digit can be added to or subtracted from the gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems to modern ears to be a cheat. However, the Kabbalists explain the rule by pointing out that for them, 1 was not a number. The monad symbolizes the divinity and could come and go as he pleased, adding nothing and taking nothing away. So I typically just take 1 away, but it's to show you how they use 2 days or sometimes 3 days and showing you what they taken away of a number, or it's left there. Okay, so I'll show you that if you don't know anything about that. The other thing I want to mention is what 0 really is. 0, of course, equals 0, but that's not it. 0 is hiding O. Okay, as you can see, they look the same in many fonts and stuff. They just have a lot of times it's just a little bit wider. The O is a little bit wider. But in most people's writing and all kinds of things, there's really not a lot of difference. And that's on purpose because O is Obama. And O is very deep. O, let me show you. Like if you go to school and you go to room 101, maybe it's English 101, and it's really 101, but most people say 101. because we've been programmed to say that, because O is really 15. O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, or O, 0 is hiding O, and O is 15, or 1 plus 5 equals 6. So far, O can be 0 can equal O, or 0 equals 0, or 0 can hide O, and O equals 15, or 0 is hiding O, and O is 15, which is 1 plus 5 equals 6. And then the last one is 0 is hiding O, and O is 15, but that's also hiding 1 from 5 is 4. Just like in Roman numerals, I from X or I from V is one number less than the X or the V. So it's 1 from that number. So I from X is 1 from 10 is 9, or I from V in Roman numerals is 1 from 5 is 4. So these are the different number values of 0. 0, that is, obviously people know 0 is 0, but hiding 15, 6, or 4. Okay, now I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. So this is iPad Go. This is one of the scenes in iPad Go. Again, if you're not familiar with it, it's an animated movie. There's no iPad Go 1. That was actually the actual event that happened on 9/1 and then 1 in 2001. And iPad Go 2 is the second installment that's going to bring down the United States. And then iPad Go 2 is showing how predicting the demise, hidden in the movie, is predicting the demise of the United States in 14/16 day process, and then going into 2 more days after that, which is a total of 18 days, the complete birth of the Antichrist and his false prophets of the world. And this is this is 7 years of in-depth study into this, and also coordinated with many things in media, the mass media, movie, TV, commercials, music, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to get into some of that in this video. Okay, so this is what I thought last time in my last video, but I did say that in my last video that if it's not the 10th, because it's based on the buck moon of this year, which was on July 10th, this is a buck deer, and that's a buck rabbit. The buck rabbit's in the middle of July, hidden in the back in the back wall here, July, and then I thought it might be 1 plus 9 is 10, like for the buck moon date, July 10th, or and I said that in the video, or it could just be the 19th. Okay, so, and I have a lot of these things in my back pocket, but, I have to go with what I think is the most current at the time. And then now, wow, what I know about this, I would have just went right past this. But that's usually what the Lord does with me. I know Jesus personally, and I have for 23 years. I've been basically born again for about 34 years, and I've known, I kind of figured out there was a relationship with him about 23 years ago, that I could start kind of hearing that he was showing me stuff about him, and that I could have a relationship with him. And I was like, what? I can actually do that? What? And then, since then, I've been following him, listening to him, and he's been guiding me as my Lord and Master, as my head, to show me all kinds of things in my life. And it was a lot of things, a lot of personal change and healing and all kinds of stuff. And I'll even help people with healing themselves, and all kinds of things, from wounds from the past and all kinds of stuff. And then about 10 years ago, he started giving me dreams and visions of how the United States is going to end, and mega tsunamis and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, what? And then a friend of mine told me about, hey, have you ever seen this silly video? And it got something in there about Hawaii, it looks like, on this apple. And I think, aren't you studying Hawaii right now? Because the Lord showed you about tsunamis. And I was like, yeah, mega tsunamis coming from Hawaii. And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so I started looking at this video, and it's a massive hodgepodge, each scene, of timelines and hidden details of the coming planned future of the Illuminati, the Freemasons. All the different secret societies, including the Jesuits and all that. They're all mixed in together here. So anyway, let's go to the next one here. So then I realized this is July 19th. Okay. Most likely, okay, again, it's my best guess, always. And then September is September 7. There is a 7 right here on this figure that looks like it's the only one that looks like it's a moon, and then the buck's coming out of it. It's the shape of a moon. The rest of them are all oval shaped, kind of like a head, a regular, anyway. And then right here, boom, I've updated this even more. So let me go back here for a second. So I realized that what this was showing me was July, and then if you go backwards, because everything is upside down, backwards, opposites, all that kind of stuff. So 7, and you go backwards, in her dress is 2317. Hopefully you can see it here. That's why I show it over here, but then I show it highlighted here. So it's 7 and then 1 from 23. So you go backwards. If you go forwards, it's 1 from 7, for example. But backwards, it's 7. 1 from 23 is 22. And then rule of Kalal, you can take any 1 away. So you take that 1 away, and then it's 723. So it's 7. 1 from 23 is 22. And then, or take the 1 away, and 723. 722 and 723, which is actually, this is the first day. This is the 4th day. 2 plus 2 equals 4. And then the 5th day. 2 plus 3 equals 5. Okay, so that's how this works. This is the first attack day. Now that is here, yes, but ultimately what I've found was I'm going from the first day to the 4th and 5th day right here, but this is also showing the last day, first day and last day, went from top to bottom, boom, like that. Okay, again, we have July 19th right here in the back wall, hidden, and again, right in the middle of July right here is the buck here, and then there's the moon over here. The buck moon that kicks this off. Yes, it could be thought that it's, maybe an Easter bunny, and that would be the Easter time. And there's a lot of things that I've, thought for a long time, but this is what it looks like it is. And everything's about to kick off. We're so close. Again, it could go a little bit longer, possibly, yeah, sure, but this looks like I'm nailing it. We'll see. Again, we'll see. So that's July. And then down here, because there's an upside down 7 on this moon, then this is a yin yang. This is a yin yang right here, but the yin's gone, but the yang is here. But it is a yin yang symbol, kind of. And then this is an S. So when this 7's upside down and then this is an S, it's crazy. So that's 7, then S is 19. So again, we have another 7 upside down, and then kind of an upside down S, because it's smaller on this. S is typically smaller than the top. So if you turn this upside down, it's an upside down 7 and an upside down S, kind of. Again, these things are not exact. They're, they're little glimpses of things, and they can't spell it out exactly. They've got to hide these things in so many different ways. And I'm good at figuring this out, with the Lord's help, of course, what these things are saying over time, and add it to other things, and getting a broad picture of things. So July 19th, July 7/19, July 19, 7's here, all kinds of stuff. And then right here, down here, where this what looks like this was also 7, 1 from 23, it's also 7 plus 1. So you go back, you go in backwards again. 7 plus 1 is 8, which is August, and then 23rd, which is really not 23rd, it's 2 and 3. And there's a number of reasons for that. Now, ultimately, it could end up being that, but it doesn't fit for what the timeline really is. And then what fits is, incredibly, is the 2nd and 3rd are actually the 9th of Av, or Tisha B'Av. Because in Israel, Tisha B'Av, or the 9th of Av, covers 2 days, because their one day is sunset to sunset on one day and sunset to the other day. So that covers 2 days on the Gregorian over here. So anyway, 9th of Av is 2 days, which ends up being 2nd and 3rd. So that would that'd be the reason why it would be 2 and 3 of 8. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, if I'm explaining it right. And then this is also crazy. So not only is this yin-yang thing, that's a little the S thing, and by the way, in a yin-yang, you don't see an S in the middle. It's just, it's like that. But this is kind of it's like etched out as like an S-looking thing. And then if this is yin-yang, it's crazy, because literally the 9th of Av is 9th of the 5th month Av, and yin-yang is not only contributes to this being an S for the 19th of July, and July's up here, and July's right here, and 7's right here. Also, yin yang is 9th of Av, which is perfect for down here. So hopefully that makes sense. It's crazy. There's a lot more involved in that. I'm not doing the best explaining it. I could break it down a lot more, but I just don't want to take the time. I want to do a rough explanation because I want to get into a lot more things. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the timeline, I thought it might be, again, buck moon right here. You have a pre-day, which is always a 9, and then the first day is a 1, and then this is the third day. 1 plus 2 is 3. Fourth day is 1 plus 3 is 4. And anyway, you can see my whole timeline, the full timeline of events, pinned to the top of comments on this video. The most current one, okay? The most current timeline of events pinned to the top of comments on this video. And it includes things like on the first day, well, actually, before I do that, let's get to the actual timeline. Boom. But the same numerology. So 7-9 is 7, 1 plus 8, and 7-10 is 7, 1 plus 9 is 10. So that's what it ends up being. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is how they hide things. They're massively into numerology and the worship of the number in the letter. That's how these things work, and they use that to predictably program the future and the masses to believe. For example, if you see zombies in a movie or on TV and all that for years and years and years, and then people start believing there's going to be a zombie apocalypse. Well, more the masses believe that could happen, and they have it in their mind, the more it gives the authority for that to happen, and for this to come to fruition, and nothing to stop it. Same thing if you think of most people, if they think of World War III, and you think, okay, what would that be like? Most people think of nukes. Why? Because that's been programmed in your mind. Why would it be that? It could be a lot of different things, but because of all the things in the media saying this is what would happen, what will happen in movies and TV and all that. So when most people think of World War III, they think of that, and so that whatever those are actually. See, I have a theory. That nukes are actually something else, but they are going to explode. They are going to kill many millions of people. And they are going to destroy things, but they're not what we're told they are. And I'm not getting into all that right now. But it doesn't matter what they really are. As far as all this stuff is, it matters what the masses think they are. That's the point of all this. It doesn't matter. Yes, to me, it matters what all this stuff really is. Okay, but what I'm talking to you about is what their perception to the public is what matters. And that's what moves the public down the road to get to their ultimate goal of one world government, one world religion, one world evil dictator, and all that stuff, okay? And they want complete control over people, and that's demons in people, ultimately, that want this. And they've been controlling this and moving this a particular direction for thousands of years. Okay. Anyway, so this is the timeline. Again, just real quick, the first couple days, I'm looking at some of these things I know for sure because I've seen them in dreams or in visions. Other things I've had to kind of figure it out with gematria and symbolisms and movies and TV and all kinds of stuff. So it looks like right now that on this first day, and it's amazing how I have so many things on each thing. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of data, symbolisms, and all kinds of on each different subject on each different day. It's crazy. And I've shared all this stuff for years, for again, almost 7 years. So it looks like Biden's going to kick the bucket on this day. Going in and reported on this day. The USS Abraham Lincoln is going to be called out. It was like this day going to this day, possibly. La Palma, the volcano called Cumbre Vieja is going to go off on La Palma Island in the Canary Island chain, northwest corner of Africa. Basically, it's part of Spain, but anyway, causes a major tsunami on that side. And then on the third and fourth day, it looks like Melania, and this is in tons of movies where the particular person, their wife and child are killed, or some derivation of that, and then he comes back for revenge. And so Melania Barron, I'm saying, going to kill, and then Trump's going to want Iran's head. And all that stuff. And then on the fourth and fifth day, the innocent children will be taken worldwide before all these horrible events happen, including zombies. People turn into zombies from the hokey pokey. This false alien invasion that from manufactured creatures that the elite have put together in labs all over the world, and they're going to come out of the ocean and the. Anyways, and they're going to come on land in the United States and attack maybe in other places of the world too, but definitely in the United States. And then Trump and Obama will be killed on this day, the 7th and 8th day, which is 2 plus 5 is 7, 2 plus 6 is 8. And then mega tsunamis on the 11th and 12th day hit both coasts simultaneously, all planned. And you can see my whole timeline pinned at the top of comments that explain all this stuff. And then going to the last day, August 1st and August 2nd, 23 cities nuked by 23 nukes, basically. And then I'll get into more here in a second. Now, then right here, the day after it begins, so once this timeline is done and the United States is done, right as the balance of the faithful will be, the faithful, the 144,000 will be removed right here. If you don't know that, I have downloadable documents pinned are there in my description box, which is below the title of this video. So go to more info. Below the title of this video is in the description box. I have 3 downloadable documents, including the innocent children and all the scriptures pertaining to that in the Old Testament and New Testament, that innocent children will be taken. And a lot of people have no idea about that. Most Christians have no idea. This comes from years of agonizing over knowing the tribulation is coming, or knowing this horrible stuff's coming and the tribulation, and thinking God, you can't be doing this to children. You can't. There's no way. And he started showing me, and the Lord Jesus started showing me over time that no, the children will be taken and spared from this worldwide right before this happens, right here on the 4th and 5th day. And this is in tons of programming I've shared for a long time. It's in all over the place. Anyway, and then also so the faithful will be taken right here. That's 144,000. I have a document about that as well. There's 3 different ones that talk about these couple different things, these different subjects here. Anyway, so moving on, and then this day that kicks right into the tribulation, which is 8/3 and 8/4, Obama's known birthday, but this is his birthday to the world with the false prophet that people don't know. So it's really a 2-day process, 8/3 and 8/4. And I did put on 8/4 because everybody knows that's his real birthday. But he is the Antichrist. You'll see, if you don't know that, I have over 1,000 plus solid evidence that wow, let me talk a little bit more clear. I have 1,000 plus solid evidences that he's the Antichrist, and nobody comes close. Nobody, not anyone. And he's the one that fits all the symbolisms, the numerology, everything. And I've shared that over videos over a long time, and I'm going to add more evidence to that on this video. So again, August 2nd, right here, 1st and 2nd. Each major event is 2 days because it's a reporting day, an action day and a reporting day. Also, over the whole world, there's 2 days. It could be 1 day here where I'm at in northern Colorado, and then it would be the next day in Australia, for example, where my brother Paul is. Good eye, mate. Hey, brother. Anyway, so August 2nd, 8th of Av on the Hebrew calendar, August 3rd, 9th of Av. Ominous day for Israel, and they're going to get invaded because this was showing a taste of that, and it was predicting that's going to happen. And I finally figured this out. This is insane. Hamas invades Israel. They invaded on October 7th, 2023. There's so much in this, but I'll show you this. So if you go from when they invaded Israel to the 9th of Av this year, when they're going to get invaded, and the United States is going to get invaded after they're nuked, so-called, okay, and then Russia and China and the Central American South American militaries that some of them that they're moved by Russia or the allies of Russia and China are going to all invade, including Russia and China, going to invade the United States on this day after the restrainer, the believers, all the believers in the body of Christ that are left over will be taken up. Anyway, I was showing on the timeline, the tsunami day was the 144, the most faithful, and then a few days later, on October 1st/2nd, August 1st/2nd is the faithful, the balance of the bride taken, everything up into heaven, and that's the restrainer taken away, and then they can invade and all that stuff on this day, the 9th of Av. Okay, now watch. From when they were invaded by Hamas on this day to when they're going to be invaded, and it's going to be a horrible day for Israel, like it says in the Old Testament and other places, it's crazy, is 666 days. I've known this for a while now. Because I thought I was going to Obama's birthday. I thought it was the reporting day of this, which would be October 8th, to Obama's birthday, but I realize now that I know it's exactly from this invasion day to invasion day. It's just insane. This is, wow. Okay, again, remember my 01564 of what 0 is, or it's hiding O right here, and these versions of O. Here it is, sacrifice, because it's about sacrifice. These people are Luciferians. Basically, they call all kinds of names, secret societies and everything, but they're Luciferians, and they're into sacrifice to bring blood for what they're doing. And they do this all the time, almost daily, worldwide. Sacrifice. Most murders, missing children, all the stuff that happens in the world are sacrifices, and they're pinned to individuals, and it pisses me off. And it's a lie, and we watch movies and TV, cop shows, detective things to reinforce that it's individuals that are doing this, but no, it's these people in these cults and these groups and these secret societies that are doing this, and they're pinning it on other people. And I'm telling you, that's what's happening. The majority. Now watch this. Again, we have this key down here of 0 equals 0, O equals 6, 0 equals 6, 0 equals 50 because 0 equals O. 0 equals 15, 0 equals 4. Okay, now watch, right here, that equals 0, and in this case, these equal 0. Okay, for example. So that's 1 plus 7 is 8, 1 plus 1 and 2. So again, August 1st and 2nd, or August 3rd. Okay, this is how this works. It's really crazy. So there's a sacrifice. But it says also there was a sacrifice on this day. They called it, when it happened on October 7th, 2023, when Hamas invaded Israel, they called it their 9-1 and then 1, like we had on September and then 1-1. Okay, I can't say the full thing. It's crazy. And that was a sacrifice. And what was the sacrifice of? That was the day, an according attack launched by Hamas on Israel on this date resulted in the deaths of approximately, look, 1,200 people. A sacrifice, and to prove that, look at this. Look, look, 10, 7, 2, 1, 2, 0, 0. See, you just move the 2 and the 0 right here. On this day, 1,200 people. Look at that. I'm sorry, I'm proving it. And there's so much more. Okay, now watch this. Now, if you take this same as this as 0, and then these numbers, this is October 7th. Now we got 1, and then this is where 0 equals 6. Because 0 equals 0, 0 is 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 and 6, and this is 2. Bring that down. You have 1, 6, 2, 6. What's that? 1, 6, and 2, 6 is 666. 1 6 and 2 6s is 666. Okay, now we're gonna change the color here. Now we're gonna put this on top. So 1 is pink, 2 is pink, and then O is now 4. Because remember, O can also be 0 is O, is hiding O, and O can be 1 from 5 is 4. So we got 4 and 4, 1 and 2, and 4 is 1 and 2, and 4 plus 4 is 8, 12, 8, or 1st and 2nd of August. Again, look, 1st and 2nd of August. 1st and 2nd of August right here. Or 1 plus 2 is 3 and 8. So literally, watch this. We have 10-7 back in 2023, plus 666 is one of the possibilities with this. Plus 666 is 1 6 and 2 6s. Okay, equals, another version of this is 3-8. 10-7 plus 666 is to 3-8, 2025, and that's what I just showed you. Again, now let's just keep going forward. What am I doing? Okay, anyway. And then now let's bring this same thing over here, but we also have World War III equals these exact numbers, because during this timeline of, you're going to see that this is 7-19 through 8, 1, and 2, or 1st and 2nd of August, is going to be the biggest sacrifices. These are they call them mega rituals or mega sacrifices of millions of people. And it's also where World War III is going to start, which is going to sacrifice millions of people as well, including the nukes that are happening in 23 cities. Okay, so again, it's all about this. So that's why World War III spelled out equals sacrifice. Okay, and that's not a coincidence. You think this is all a coincidence? I just showed you there's no coincidence. There's literally, in Hebrew, there's no word for coincidence, because at least that language knows, that's a godly language, that it's not possible. They have to, these things that look like they work together are coordinated somehow. There is a mind, either good or evil, behind it. If they're coordinated like that, if there's a coincidence, the incidents are coordinated, coincidence, then there is a mind behind it, either good or bad. Okay, it's some kind of good or bad conspiracy. Anyway, so that's that. Now let's look at 0 as O as 15. So we'll make this 0, 15. So we're going to go 7 right here, 1 right here, and then O is 15. Or 7, 1 plus 1 is 2 and 5. Like that. And then 1 plus 6 is 7, and then 2, 6. Right there. Look at this. 725 to 726. On the timeline, this is the death of the Antichrist, CKBO. Well, he's not at that point the Antichrist. He's the President of the United States, the 44th Prez. But he'll die on this day. So Trump will in Manhattan. Again, nukes in Manhattans while he's in Trump Tower, looks like. And then CKBO probably will be killed with a head wound in Hawaii, it looks like, from all my research and everything. And then they'll both be reported dead on 7/26. Now watch. What's this ultimately showing right here? Watch. Boom. We have, again, 10-7 at 666 days. That was in 2023. You get 3rd of April. Wow. Okay, 3rd of August. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm kind of tired, of course, which is normal for me. So anyway, back to saying this stuff correctly. So it's also, again, 10-7, like we saw with this invasion, is also 1 plus 9 is 10. So this is the first day in the timeline. The pre-day is 718, but the first day is 719. And then the last 2 days, the last day is 1st of August, and the post day is 2nd of August. 1st and 2nd of August, and then, in a sense, 9, which is 1 plus 8 is 9, the pre-day, and then 10 is... the 19th of July is the first day. Man, I'm kind of butchering that, trying to explain this. And then the exact 2 middle days in this whole thing, when the Stinky Bo, the eventual Antichrist is dead, is 725 and 726. Okay, you'll see, it's all in here. All right, so like I said, right here. Oops. So this is the pre-day, first day, and then the last days, 8-1 and 8-2, or 1-2-8, 1st and 2nd of August. And then there's the tribulation begins on 8-3/8-4. Okay, and then again, like I showed you, that was 666. Crazy. Okay, and then that also includes the day. So if you could go from that day and you count out 666 days, that gives you August 3rd. But then this is showing both days, this transition from 8-2 to 8-3. Because if you include the day, it's not this is 666 days. 666 days to August 2nd, if you include the day. So it's August 2nd and August 3rd is what I'm trying to get at. They're showing you both. They're showing the last day of the timeline transitioning into the first day of the tribulation, August 2nd and August 3rd. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, does that make sense? Anyway, and then to prove this even more, the 9th of Av, that a lot of people spell it this way all over the internet and everything, and in that religion and everything, for English, of course, 9th of Av is 8-1, the last day, 8-1 and 8-2. But also it spells out here, watch, 8, then we have 1, sorry, let's do it this way, 2 plus 1, or 8, August 1st and 2nd, and then 9 plus 5 plus 6 is 20, and then we have 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5. And this is all a coincidence. That would be 8 1st and 2nd, or 8 2nd and 1st, and then 2025, or completely together is August 3rd, 25. And that's the exact day of 9th of Av this year. I just showed you, August 3rd, 25. So this is what this is talking about. This is not a coincidence. This would match up, because this is the only time this matches up. Because it's also called Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is the 9th of Av. Tisha B'Av is what they call it, but the 9th of Av is the date, the 9th of the 5th month Av on the Hebrew calendar. Okay, their version of it. Okay, and then Tisha B'Av is also just happens to be, okay, it just happens to be 8-2. Okay, and then there's the 1 here. See that? 8-2 plus 1. Remember I just showed you that in 9th of Av, 8-2 plus 1, or 8 August 2nd and August 1st. And then what's this? 3 and 4. 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 is hiding 2 plus 5. So you can do 7, it could be 3 plus 4, or it could be 2 plus 5. So again, you have August 1st and 2nd for the last days of the timeline. Then you also have August 2 plus 1 is 3, the first day of the tribulation, right here. And that's a coincidence. And this is the same way as well. Another way is 8-2 right here, just like this. And what's 1-3-4? I shared this in my last video. That's the 13th of the 4th month Tammuz. 13th of the 4th month Tammuz is July 9th. Well, what's July 9th? July 9th is hiding July, of course, is 7. And then 9 is hiding 1 plus 8. Or July 18th. So I thought it could be this, but then I knew if it wasn't this, it would be that. So then if you go like this, bam. So July 9th is the 13th of Tammuz, or it's July 9th is hiding 7. 1 plus 8 is 9. So we literally have also 8-2 the last day, and the pre-day. This is the post-day, actually, because there's 14 days. There's a pre-day, 14 days, and then a post-day. And then that's 7-18. It's the pre-day, and then the post-day is 7-2. 7-2. 8-2. Man, I am having a hard time talking today. Woo! Okay, let's reset. I did a little bit of coffee, but I need a little bit more. I got to get this out. I was going to wait till I was feeling a little bit more less tired and stuff, but I have to get this out, so I can't wait another day. So please forgive me. Okay, anyway. Again, so Tisha B'Av is this, August 2nd and 1st, or August 3rd, 25. And it's also August 2nd, and the pre-day July 18th. Hidden. See? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, again, pre-day and 7/18 and 8/2 right there. Hidden in this. This is the 13th of Tammuz, which is 7/9, and 7/9 is hiding 7, and 1 plus 8 is 9. Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. Also, by the way, the last time that Tisha B'Av or 9th of Av was on August 2nd and 3rd on the Gregorian over here, it was 2006. Last time. So it's been a minute. Okay, it's been a minute. And then when's the next time it's going to be? It's going to be a few minutes. 2055. So the fact that these match up incredibly, look at this. 9th of Av, watch. Tisha B'Av, all these, the last day, the first day, 9th of Av, all this stuff, okay? I'm going to keep going forward here, sorry. Is just no way. No way. The exact numerology of this matches up, and the last time and the next time, that's huge difference between what it is now. I mean, huge. And also, Tisha B'Av or 9th of Av is Saturday and Sunday on the Gregorian, of course, the weekend. Okay, Saturday and Sunday. And that's a massive thing, too, because Saturday is all programmed, seems to be programmed to this exact day of that day. Okay, so like I showed you, Saturday, look, it's 10/7. 107 is 10/7. Remember October 7th? Okay, watch this. And then you have 654 English Sumerian, which is regular ordinal times 6, which is English Sumerian. So you have 650. So if you take August 7th, again, back in 2023, plus 654, which is right here, plus 6, plus 4, plus 2, equals 666. And then how many, you add 666 days to this back in 2023, you get that. 2nd of August, 2025. And in other numerology, in other ciphers of gematria, there's 25, hidden in all kinds of ways. And I'm not getting into that right now, but there is. So Saturday, and then Saturday also, okay, again, being October, let's look at October 7th, for example. Saturday, look, October 7th, it was a Saturday. And then we already know that the 2nd of August is a Saturday. And then look, 2nd of August. Where I just told you that Tisha B'Av and 9th of Av are on Saturday, Sunday. So Saturday is 8/2, Sunday is 8/3. And that's a coincidence? No way. I'm going to show you massive coincidence after massive coincidence, and it's not a coincidence. And then to top that off, S is the 19th letter of the alphabet. This is first and last letter code. I don't know anybody who does it. I'm the only one that I know that does first and last letter code also. So S is 19, Y is 25th letter of the alphabet, or 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, the first day, 19th of July. And by the way, newsflash, Saturday is, or 7/19 is a Saturday. Saturday. Elton John song. Saturday night's all right. Oh, anyway, whatever. That's all programmed. And I'm going to show you the Elton John song is completely programmed. There's so much more I can show you that I've dove into. It's incredible. But Saturday, it starts on Saturday, the first day. It's actually, there's a pre-day of the Friday, 7/18, but that's a pre-day. The actual first day, because 1 plus 9 is 10, and take away the 0, and you got 1. First day, 1. First day, Saturday. And then the last day of the timeline is a Saturday. Saturday to Saturday. And that's a coincidence? I think not. And then Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is the name of the Elton John song. Saturday. Again, look. Saturday is all right for fighting. This was an invasion. 666 days from August 2nd back to October 7th. August 2nd, yeah, back to October 7th. It was 666 days, and that was invasion. That was fighting. Saturday night's all right for fighting. And then when this invasion happens, here, okay, 8/2 going to 8/3 in the United States, and then also in Israel, that's going to be a night for fighting. It's Saturday into Sunday, and so that's Saturday night. Hello, McFly. Hello. Make like a tree and leave. Okay, anyway, that is crazy. And then to prove that even more, this song was released in 1973. Look, 7 plus 1 is 8. Oh, by the way, before I do that, this another song on this album is called Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets. Anyway, Benny. That's Benjamin Netanyahu and his jets. So he's going to do something with his jets, like they've been doing. They've been bombing Syria now and the Houthi, and all kinds of places for a while. But there's going to be something they do with their jets right before they're going to get invaded by August 2nd / August 3rd, 9th of Av. Can you believe? Are you following me? This gave me a little bit of goosebumps. Benny and the Jets, Benjamin Netanyahu and his jets. It's singing about a made-up band that he sings about, but so it seems plausible, whatever. But it's really singing about Benjamin Netanyahu and his jets, and they have to fly jets to be more precise. They can't just shoot missiles like Iran does that are not precise and everything. They fly jets. That's their biggest thing because Iran's so far, and a lot of their enemies are so far away that they have to use jets. It's crazy. This is crazy stuff. Now watch again. 7 + 1 is 8. Then we have 3. And then 9 is hiding 2 + 2 + 5. And that's another off the charts coincidence. And that is exactly 9th of Av, August 3rd. August 7 + 1 is 8. 3. 9 is 2 + 2 + 5. I don't think so. And then Elton John's Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting was released as a single on July 16th. Oh, what's the first day? Oh, let's just flip this 6 that they do all the time. Flip this 6 to a 9, and we have July 19th. We have the first day, and we have of the timeline, and we have the first day of the tribulation right here in this full date. First day of the tribulation. And it's all in this release day of this, and they're both Saturdays. Well, the 8/2 is Saturday, going to 8/3 Sunday, but still Saturday and Saturday. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you following me on this? And then Saturn the Sunday is what it's saying. The Saturday and Sunday, I've been saying this for a long time, actually, in my videos, is Saturn the Sunday. Because the elites worship the Saturn as their sun. They worship it. Watch. Okay, so this is Saturn, and look, it's got a hexagon on the top. In fact, the Cassini probe that was sent, I'll get into that in just a second. Wait till I get to that. Hold on. See, that's a hexagon. But if you just insert a couple lines in the center, it goes from being one-dimensional hexagon to a different dimensional cube. Okay, that's a cube. And inside there, the Cassini probe that was sent out back in 1997, which is 19th of July, you'll see, for 20 years this thing was on this mission, and then it went around this thing for years, and it scanned it, and it came back as they scanned it. And some of the researchers that I've been following, man, it's deep. This is deep. There is a cube inside Saturn, and they scanned with this Cassini probe, and they could see the structure of a cube inside, and it was showing up like on the outside like this as well. And this ring is a locking in. This is a prison. Okay, this is a prison for bad spirits, and then they're going to unlock it, and then they crash the Cassini probe finally on 8 days before the Revelation 12 sign on September 15, 2017. They crashed it so they can get the exact coordinates from it, and then they're going to beam these things in here, unlock it, beam these things into through an Einstein, what do you call a wormhole, basically, with CERN. It's all CERN's project, and JPL, Jack Parsons Laboratory, is really what it is. Jack Parsons was a heavy Luciferian. It's Jet Propulsion Laboratories, but it was originally called Jack Parsons Laboratories, and he was a massive Satanist and all kinds of other things. Anyway, they got the coordinates when they crashed the Cassini probe on this place, on Saturn, whatever Saturn really is, and then they're going to be able to triangulate that, open this thing up, and send these things through the abyss, out of the abyss, which this is the jail for the abyss in a sense. And they're going to send it up through an opening that's where Hawaii is. They're going to destroy Hawaii, and they're going to bring these things up through this pit. And then the Abaddon, the Lord of the bottomless pit, is going to bring out these creatures out that are going to come out. Anyway, this is a long story in all this. Anyway, it was the Cassini Huygens space mission, and that was sent there, and it was almost exactly a 20-year mission. This thing went around this for years, almost 7 years, I think, almost exactly 7 years. It went around this thing, scanned it, brought back all, sent back all kinds of information as far as we know and all that. But look at this, watch this. 19th of July through 2nd of August. 1 plus 7 is August. The whole timeline right here. 19th of July. Again, any 9 you can get rid of. Because, by the way, 9 plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So it doesn't matter. You can put these two together, and you get 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9, so you're back to 9. Anything you add to 9 to stays the same. 19th of July through 2nd of 1 plus 7 is 8 is August. The whole timeline right here. And then if you look at that in Gematria, it's 8-3, or August 3rd. Remember? 9th of Av, Tisha B'Av. And then the first day of this is the first day of the tribulation, first day of the timeline. This is hiding 7. 1 plus 8 is 18. The pre-day and the first day of the tribulation, and we got the year 25. And then this upside down and backwards is 9-5, or 9th of Av. 9th of Av is August 3rd. It's all here. The black cube of Saturn in Australia, in Denmark, Manhattan, Santa Ana. The black cube of Saturn, Mecca, here. They worship the black cube, which is Saturn, their black sun, they call it. This is Orthodox Jews using they claim it's the Word of God in a box on their head, so it's so close to them. But it's a black cube. Why is it black? Strapped to them, and they have straps around their arms and stuff because they're in bondage to this black cube. Remember in Star Trek, the Borg was a black cube, because we're going to turn into something unholy. Not me, but people. And this is D-Wave computer. Quantum computer, black cube. Oh, what this guy said about this. Oh my goodness! Now they're tapping into demons and all kinds of stuff, and to another dimension, and tapping in all kinds of voices back and stuff. And that's what AI really is. These have made AI possible in so many different ways, and they're tapping into another realm. And they've said so has CERN. They've said that they're tapping another realm, and then voices are coming back and then telling them, giving them information. And these are demons. It's an opening. It's a communication system to talk to the spirit realm and to demons. And then they get insight and knowledge and all kinds of stuff. Instead of doing the seances and all that stuff, they can just do it so simply and so quickly, and have to do all this other stuff. Anyway, so black cube, it's just what they worship. And then Saturn is the secret god of the occult world. Saturn worship is everywhere. Look at all these logos. This is just a little slice of many logos and such. Saturn, black cubes, Saturn rings, Saturn. I mean, it's just all over the place. Okay, that's what they worship. So Saturn the Sunday, like I said, is 210 and 195. Well, what's that? Well, there's several things. The 210th day of the year is the birth of the Antichrist on my timeline, which is 729. But now we're not talking about that. But this also has multiple meanings. But right as far as Saturn and the Sunday, Saturn and Sunday, okay, right? But just for example, and I was told that Jesus told me a couple years ago that Isis is born on 210, and the 210th day of the year on my timeline is 729, when lightning falls from heaven and the tsunamis happen. It's crazy. Or remember, 0 is O, and O can be 4. 1 from 5 is 4. So that's 214. The 214th day of the year, remember the 210th day of the year is July 29th. The 214th day of the year is August 2nd, which is a Saturn day, a Saturday. Saturn day, okay? Or Saturn the Sunday is also the 19th of the 5th month in the Roman calendar. What's the 5th month on the Roman calendar? July. July 19th, or July the 5th month on the Roman calendar, 19th, which is also a Saturday. Saturday. Okay, anyway. Or it's 9th of Av, 1 from the 9th of Av. We know the 9th of Av is August 3rd. 9th of Av on the Hebrew calendar is August 3rd on the Gregorian. So 1 from the 9th of Av is 1 from August 3rd. 1 from August 3rd is August 2nd. August 2nd. They're both, and that's Saturday. going into Sunday. Okay. And then Saturn Day, or there's one way of saying it. Saturn the Sunday. There's also Satyr Sunday. Satyr the Sunday. Satan the Sunday. 798-804. Well, who was born on 804? 84. Sticky B.O., the 44th Pres. Obama. 84. But watch this. It's also 978. 9. 7 plus 8 is 15. And then 84, because this is 0, for example, in this situation. Now let's flip the 1 and the 5 right here. And we have 9-5. We have 9th of Av. And then we have 1 right here. Because these things share. They're sharing this. That's where you can that's why you can take one away or add one in Rule Kalel, because they don't tell you that these are working together. The main one and the reverse. Forward and reverse, okay? So that's 9th of Av, and then 1 from 8-4 is 8-3, and we know that 9th of Av is October 3rd. See how this works? And then that's 978 over here is also 163 on English Ordinal, Satyr Sunday, okay? And who is that? That guy. He is so many things. His different names are so many things. Barack Obama equals earthquake. Barack Obama equals school shooting. Barack Obama equals all kinds of stuff. Versions of his name. Barack Hussein Obama equals train derailment. So many things, catastrophic, horrible things you hear in the news and all that equals some form of his name, and I've shared that a million times. Nobody else. Just here and there some things maybe, but not like him. He is incredible. I've shared that so many times. And then Saturday and Sunday is the weekend. And when people say it's the weekend, the weekend's coming up. Hey, buddy, the weekend's coming up. What does that look like? See what that looks like to you? Oh, sacrifice, World War III. Oh, the weekend. Because ultimately, this timeline is leading up to this time, which is the weekend right here, the weekend. And then we have the weekend. This guy who's nicknamed the Weekend. Okay, but it's spelled different. I'm gonna show you how it's spelled different. But see, and then he is the devil, wearing red and black, the devil, okay, with a head wound. Okay? And one of his songs that has to do with this, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I like it. I can't feel my face because he was shot in the head. He's saying it because he's saying he's the Antichrist, and I can't feel my face is, look, 1st and 2nd of August, or 3/8, and then what's this? 3/8, right? And then 2, and then 7 plus 7 is 14. The 214th day of the year is August 2nd, or 2nd of August. 3rd of August, 2nd of August. See? Saturday and Sunday. The weekend. The weekend. And then how he spells it, the weekend, is there's a reason, because it's 9th of Av, and 1 from 4 is 3. So 9th of Av is, we already know, 3rd of August. The weekend. And this same 9-5 and 148, because it's hiding. Again, you got to hide this stuff. Hardly anybody knows it. 9-5, they think September 5th or whatever, or 9-5, whatever. But they don't know it's 9th of Av, maybe. Most people would know. But I'm telling you, I'm proving it left and right with every slide. It's crazy. Now watch. Okay, so we also have this same number, 9-5 and 148, which is really 9th of Av, is 3rd of August. They're both the same day. One in the Hebrew, one in the Hebrew, one in the Gregorian. Pentagram. Well, what a shock. The symbol and the mechanism of worshiping and serving Lucifer is a pentagram, and that just happens to be the day that the start of the tribulation and the reign of the Antichrist. I don't think so. A lot of people don't know that the pentagram is in Washington, D.C., and it's in the roads and everything. And the point of it, the sacrifice point, the point of offering, the point of sacrifice, this is called the point of sacrifice, by the way. And what's that right there? That is the White House. That is the White House. This has been set up from all the way back from the inception of the United States in a pentagram shape. And do you think your country is Christian? There is some Christian elements, yes, but behind the scenes, there's always been the occult. And I've proven it time and time again. And then the White House, why is it called the White House? Because an altar has to be white and purified before blood can spill on it. Okay, that's what they believe. The White House, get it? Is the point of sacrifice. See the point? This is called the point of sacrifice. And that's the point of sacrifice. This is the altar of sacrifice right here. They usually put it in the middle, but the point of sacrifice is where the person who's going to make the sacrifice stands before Lucifer. I know this from study, and I know what I'm talking about. Most people don't know this stuff, and they don't care because they just live in their lives, and they don't know everything's going down, and they don't know why. They won't know why until they're warned, because I'm called as a watchman. Read it in Ezekiel about the watchman. The watchman, if he doesn't warn, then his head is on the chopping block. If he knows danger's coming and he doesn't warn, I mean, I'm not saying that's what's really going on with me, but that's I have to warn. The Lord himself has positioned me and called me to warn people. And I'm telling you, you must listen. If you don't know this stuff, you need to wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee in Brazil. I mean, seriously, this is crazy. So the White House is a white altar. And the decision maker right here is he's a servant of Satan. Okay, every inauguration they do something called the Raising of Osiris ritual, and they curse the Bible, and they do all kinds of stuff, and they make sure that the Antichrist is in process of being born, even still. So the Antichrist will be a president. He is the 44th president that's coming. And there's a number of reasons for that I've shared over the time. But anyway, let's keep going. Again, so the White House, and it just happens to matter that the point of sacrifice, the White House, the sacrifice that's made white, okay, exactly equals Donald John Trump also. And then that's 9th of Av backwards, which is, again, that's 9th of Av, but I'm showing you in reverse full reduction. A lot of times I can show you exactly what's hidden in here. Okay, and then also 5 plus 9 is 14. So is 6 plus 8. And what's 68? Barack Obama equals 68. And because he equals 68, because 6 plus 8 is 14, and he's going to be born to the world as the Antichrist on 9th of Av, which is 14 also. And so much in this. I'm going to get into all this. Okay, so then you get that. Boom. Let's keep going. Then 9th of Av, and 3/8, 3rd of August, which is the 9th of Av, is also nightmare, and it's also emergency. Yeah, emergency. A nightmare's coming. Look out. And I'm warning you of it. It's also Notre Dame. Notre Dame. I've shared this before. So Notre Dame is where Trump and Macron were sitting in the front row together, and he was doing the spear of destiny. He was doing the golden spear that's going to spear the United States, and that's depicted here in a sense in iPad Go, that he does the triangle thing. He's got his hair that goes to this side, and this was in iPad Go when it came out in 2012, and he didn't become president until 2016, or elected as president 2016, but actually became president 2017 technically. And this iPad Go was him as a president, because these are all presidents that are beside him. And one's Kennedy with a hole in his head, different things like that. And so this was predicted years before he became president. And then see this checkerboard floor right here? There's a checkerboard floor right there. See? He's doing the same thing. And I showed this in videos in the past. Okay? And so you got Donald John Trump or Donald J. Trump, Emmanuel Macron, 148. Well, again, what's 148? 1 from 4 is 3. 3/8 or 3/8. These two guys are in the front row at Notre Dame, and that matches 100%. I don't think so. This is all coincidence. It's a coinky dink. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can believe this stuff. Maybe. And then later on, you saw pictures of him, and we heard that Trump and Zelensky met at Notre Dame afterwards to try to discuss peace. Okay, and later they went to the White House and he kicked him out and all this stuff. Anyway, crazy. All planned. See? This is crazy. And again, 1 from 4 is 3. So that's 3rd of August is, again, 9th of Av. And that is symbolic of 888. What's 888? Okay, I'll get into that in a second. Well, 888 is in biblical numerology. And there is such a thing. And I studied it for years before I even got into gematria, because I was really fascinated by God and his numbers in the Bible and all that stuff. Because he created numbers, by the way. And his version of numbers are what makes the whole world go round and all that stuff. And it's all his version is all good, and it means all good things. The enemy has hijacked it, and he's made all kinds of illegitimate versions of it to make his own religions. Okay, and it's crazy. So anyway, 888 is, first of all, 8 is a new beginning in biblical numerology. And 3 is completion. So it's a complete new beginning is what it means. And that would make sense that would begin the new beginning of, and literally it starts the tribulation. It's a new beginning. It's a complete new beginning. Okay, anyway. And then that Notre Dame fire, remember he was sitting with Emmanuel Macron, Trump and Emmanuel Macron was sitting when they reopened, but when it originally happened, the Notre Dame fire, that exactly equals, again, 2nd and 1st of August, or 3-8, or 1 from 3 is 2-8, so that's 3-8 and 2-8, or 3-8, take away 1, and we'll look out 3-8, and 1 plus 3 and 4, 4-8. So we have 1st and 2nd of August, and 3rd and 4th of August, or August 3rd and August 2nd. It's done multiple ways. It's all right there. So there's the Notre Dame fire. And from that day, April 15th, whoa, I'm going to go back. Oh, crud. Crack on crack. No. Anyway, April 15th, 2019 to Tisha B'Av, or 9th of Av, is 9th of 2 plus 3 is Av. Backwards, 9th of Av. Or 923, like the Revelation 12 sign. Imagine that. Okay, and then the reopening of it after years later and redoing it and all that stuff, so-called, yeah, right, this was all planned. Reopening of it, they're sitting in it. From that day, they were sitting in it right here to 9th of Av again, August 3rd. Again, 923, 23, 923, Revelation 12 sign. There's all reasons for all this. And why is 923 or 923 in tons of movies, like The Beautiful Mind right here? And you can look it up if you don't know that. I've done videos on it in the past. Tons of movies and TV. People talked about it all over YouTube and everything like that. There's 923 is in everything. Now look, 923, which we know is 9-5, 9th of Av, okay? 9th of Av, so that would be 8-3. And then we have 8-4. And then we have 8-2. And 9-5 is 8-3, 8-2, 8-3, or 8-3 and 8-4. And we also have 9th of Av, 25. See, 9th of Av, 25, year 25. And by the way, the Jewish calendar, it just happens to equal 25 also. We look at the year that we're in, add up the numbers in the year, and it equals 25. Wow, that's another massive coincidence? No, because it's this year. That's another huge evidence that we're on this year, because the Hebrew number is matched as this the number we're in right now, 100%, and it won't be for much longer. Okay. So anyway, and then so also the reason why it's in the movies as 923 because it's hiding 9-5 or 9th of Av, and the reason why people think it's 923 is because when you spell it out 923, you get 225. What's this? Well, 200. Okay. Yeah. 200 is the first day. The first day is the 200th day of the year. Okay, the first day is the 200th day of the year. And by the way, Donald John Trump was born on the 165th day of the year with 200 days left over. And the first day of the timeline is July 19th, the 200th day of the year. And remember, O can be 4. So we got O is 4. So what do we have here? We have 4 plus 4 is 8, and 2 and 25. See? 8-2 is 923 spelled out. And then 923 is also 9th of Av, which is 8-3. 9th of Av, 8-3. 923 spelled out is 8-2. Okay, crazy. All right, and then the reason why it's 923 and not something like 9-1 and 4 is because that's when the Revelation 12 sign happened years ago in 2017. Right here, you can read this stuff if you want, okay? If you don't know about this, this is a sign that happened in the heavens with an alignment. Jupiter was in Virgo for 9 plus months, 9 months and some days, and it came out between her legs, right between her legs, and then made this sign of all this stuff. You got the Revelation 12 says a crown of 12 stars formed. The 9, well, it just said there's a 12 stars above her head, the moon under her feet, she's clothed in the sun, and all this stuff, okay? If you don't know that, I'm sorry, I don't know where you've been, but okay, so watch this. 9, 2 plus 3 is 5, and then 2017, watch this. Keep going. And then we know 9th of Av is 3rd of August, and then 2, and then 1 plus 7 is 8. So this is hiding 3rd of August and 2nd of August. See how this works? 9, 2 plus 3 is 5. 9th of Av we know is 3rd of August this year, and then 2, 1 plus 7 is 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, 2, 8. And then if you go from September 23rd, the Revelation 12 sign, to August 3rd this year, you have 8, 1st and 2nd, and then 7 is 2 plus 5, or 25. Or 8, 2 plus 1 is 3, 8, 3 right here, 8, 3, 2025, or 25. 7 is 2 plus 5. It's all right there. Another confirmation of that. Okay, and then look at these Great American Eclipses. One that happened on August 21st back in 2017, like 33 days before the Revelation 12 sign, something like that. And then the one that happened last year here, April 8th, 2024. Okay, these are all these different things that have been happening, all these different massive eclipses and of all kinds, solar eclipses and lunar eclipses and all that. They're all, the numerology of all this stuff is pointing to this time. And I can share all of them, but I just don't have the time. But look, August 21st is, look, 8, 1st and 2nd are 8, 3. And then April 8th is August 4th. See, August 1st and 2nd are August 3rd and 4th. See how this works? Hopefully that makes sense. It's crazy. Like I said, the last 2 days of the timeline, 1st and 2nd of August, or 8, 3 and 8, 4, the first days of the of the tribulation. Okay, and then Donald Trump just happens to, he's really integrated this because he's called on to be the Trojan horse. The Lord told me years ago that he is the Trojan horse that will completely fool and take down Christians and conservatives in the United States. Okay, he's the Trojan horse for Christians and conservatives. Okay, so 1 from 3-8, 1 from 3-8 is 2-8, or 8-2, and then 1 from 9th of Av is 8-2, because 9th of Av is 8-3. So they're both 8-2, August 2nd, see? And then this is the day that iPad Goat was released, June 24th, 2012. Take it to the 9th of Av, or August 3rd, you get 4,788 days, or 4788. And he just happens to equal that. Yeah. And these don't work together. That's another massive coincidence off the charts, please. And then from the death of the Pope on a Robo-Pope, to the pre-day of the timeline is 88 days, and he died when he was 88 years old. Trump's mother died when she is 88 years old. Trump equals 88. 88 miles per hour. All that, just so much stuff. I can get into so many things. Literally on each subject, like I'm saying, on these different things, I can get into. There's so many things about the Pope that matches this 100%. It's just amazing. I'm just going to touch a couple things here and there. And then he died on April 21st, or the 21st of April, which is hiding the 214th day of the year, August 2nd. And then you take that to this day, July 18th, which is the pre-day. You have the pre-day and August 2nd, the 214th day of the year, or 21st of April, the day he died. It's just the same numbers. It just means different things. When they're put in different orders, said different ways. There you go, right there, bam. Okay, and then when Trump said, the calm before the storm. I can't even say it. My throat's getting all weird now. The calm before the storm. October 5th, 2017, he said the calm before the storm. If we go to the first day of the storm, the first day of the tribulation, it's 2nd of August, 5th, 9th of Av. 2nd of August and then 9th of August, the 3rd of August. 2nd of August, 3rd of August, or 9th of Av, August 2nd. Go backwards. See, a lot of these things are backwards. 9th of Av, August 2nd. And remember, 9th of Av is the 3rd of August. August 3rd, August 2nd. 9th of Av is August 3rd. Okay, hope that makes sense. And then if you go from Trump's birthday to the 9th of Av, and all that this year, it's 9th of Av, which is August 3rd and August 2nd. See? Telling you, man. And then in 2025, 3 weeks mourning period leading up to Tisha B'Av begins on July 13th and concludes on August 3rd. Okay, and of course that should be off, like I said, August 3rd. But this 3 weeks begins on July 13th. Does that look familiar, July 13th? Well, that's when this guy was shot. The guy, when he was shot, again, it was all staged and everything, and then iPad Go showed how these three dots point to his ear right here, and there's a V. This also makes a V right here, makes a V, and there's a red V that's there, and then where it was shot, exactly where the rabbit is shot in the ear, exact spot where the rabbit is got a shot on the ear, and this represents that as well. This is so many things. And again, he's the figure right here that's in iPad Goat, and this shows how he's shot in the ear. And I'm not going to explain all this right now, but it's right there. It's crazy. And then 713 is hiding. 7 plus 1 is 8. 3. So it's literally saying here, this is the first day of the 3 weeks, and this is the last day of the 3 weeks of mourning or whatever they go through, right? And they're both 8-3. 8-3. Okay, now watch. What does it say about this? Now this is on Shabbat.org, okay? 3 weeks laws and customs. Now this is crazy. I've been looking at this stuff for years, even on this website and stuff, and I found, well, I didn't actually find it. My friend did, and she told me about this. I'm not going to say who it is, but you know who you are. And she told me about this, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because I've been looking for a long time, and I never saw that. And so my conclusion is, even recently, last year, and even more recently, and my conclusion is they added this for this year. But what did I find? First of all, let's talk about this. 3 weeks laws and customs. Okay. Thank you, M.A. Let's just say that. Thanks, M.A. Anyway, I'll just say that. Okay. A full 3 weeks of our year, the 3 weeks between the strictures. These are the strictures. Again, 8-3, 8-3. Tammuz 17 and Av 9, 9th of Av, are designed as time of mourning over the destruction of the Holy Temple and the resultant gallant physical exile and spiritual displacement in which we still find ourselves. Okay, whatever. The 9th of Av, say our sages, is not only the day of the. This is what she found, and I was like, what? I never saw this before in 7 years. Is not only the day of the temple destruction, it's also the birthday of the Mashiach. I said, I've been saying forever, the day after the last day of the timeline, it was the day of that the antichrist, Stinky B.O., was born to the world, and his false prophet. France, I'm sorry, if you don't realize that France is going to come back to life, you're going to be shocked, or you're going to be gone off this earth. Few of us are we. Most people here are going to be shocked. He's going to come back to life, and he's going to look really good. So is Stinky B.O. He's going to have kind of a glow to him. It's crazy. Birthday of the Mashiach. You can read the rest of it in Jeremiah here, but look at this. Are you kidding me? The birthday of the Mashiach? Wow. And that is, again, 9th of Av is 8-3 or 3/8. And 888, right here, 888 just happens to be, again, 3rd of August, or 1 from 3 is 2nd of August, and 3rd of August, 2025. And that's a coincidence? Another off-the-charts coincidence? I think not. Okay, and Obama is the Antichrist. Just if you didn't know, it's in Gematria for this exact day. These days, I should say. The 214th day of the year is August 2nd, and 2 plus 6 is 8. By the way, Barack Obama equals 623 in Jewish ordinal, or Jewish Gematria. 623, which is 8-3, and there it is again. Obama's the Antichrist is 3-8. So August 2nd and August 3rd. And what's 1284? What is this? Oh, I just showed you. It's 4. Go backwards. It's 4-8 and 8-21. What's 4? Because they both share August. 4th of August and August 21. What's that? 4th of August and August 21. This is called a mirror date, where there's something in the middle and it goes off from either side. What's 4th of August and August 21? I just showed you. 4th of August. Sorry, not 4th of August. I meant April 8th. Sorry. April 8th and then August 21st. That's what I meant to say. Okay, anyway. April 8th or April 8th, 821. See, look at that. And how else is this marking out the birth of the Antichrist? Many ways, but in between these two dates is exactly 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days. That's got nothing to do with the Antichrist in the Bible, right? 666, 666, 6666. I mean, come on. Look at that. And then from this date right here, this last Great American Eclipse that happened last year, to the first day, it just happens to be 66 weeks and 6 days. Another massive coinkydink. I don't think so. Okay, so this guy is the Antichrist, and all the numbers, all the symbols, watching movies and TV. Again, I've said it a million times. He is a he-she. He's a she, he-she, he-she, she-she, he-she, he-she. He's a he-she. He's a clone of Akhenaten, and he's a hermaphrodite in a sense, clone. Okay, and that's what Akhenaten was. That's what Akhenaten was. Look at any statue of Akhenaten. All this had wide hips, all kinds of weird stuff. It was a he-she, he-she. Okay, and that's why you see in movies and TV like crazy a white woman with mostly a black woman with a white guy in many movies and TV now. A black woman with a white guy usually. Sometimes it's a white guy with a black woman. I mean, sorry, that's what I just said. I just said it in reverse. See, I'm tired. Wow. A white guy with a black woman is usually what you see most shows on TV now. Or you see a black guy with a white woman. Either one. One of the two or multiples of that. That's like it blows my mind how it's everywhere. Because he had supposedly had a white mother and a black father, but that's not true. He's a clone. But the fact that he's a mixture that they say is why it's predictive programming that this is all out there. And so many movies and TV and everything have this now in the last few years. It's crazy. Crazy. Okay, so anyway, 121 is hiding 211, 211th day of the year is 7:30, the birth of the Antichrist, lightning falling from heaven, the mega tsunamis on 7:29 and 7:30 is the Antichrist. And then 149, he was born on the 216th day of the year with 149 days left over, and he is the Antichrist, and that's the opposite of the day he was born, the 216th day of the year. 216 is 6 times 6 times 6, and the days left over in the year when off the day he was born, August 4th, is 149. My birthday is the 149th day of the year. I'm the opposite of him in so many ways. Anyway, and then and that's also 9th of Av, 9th of 1 plus 4 is 5, birth of the Antichrist on that day. Okay, on that day, August 3rd. And then the death of the Antichrist, it just spells it right out. It's rare. July 26th. It's the 25th, but it's reported on the 26th. Right there, Antichrist. And then right here, 8, and then 9 plus 4 is 13. And that's 8/4. We know he's born 8/4, 260th day of the year with 149 days left over. And then he's going to be reborn to the world on 8/3. Again, rule of law, you take any one away. That's 8/3. Or 8/1 from 3 is 2. The last day of the timeline, 8/2. So it's 8. It could be 8/2, 8/3, or 8/1 plus 3 is 4. And then we know that's his birthday, 8/4. See how this works? It's crazy. He's also, like I said, he's a clone of Akhenaten. I mean, look at this. His nose matches completely. Look at this look at this crease right here. It's exactly the same. Look at that. I mean, are you kidding me? It's all stylized from here because they took a cast of his face from like here, and then they made it. That's why, and it's a different angle, kind of the way the camera is, his ear, Anyway, but this matches 100%. I've showed other things that match. He has the same exact belly button as Akhenaten, all kinds. I mean, and he has a belly button that's not even registered as a type of belly button. And I've showed this to you. There's only certain kinds of belly buttons out there, and he has the exact one that Akhenaten has. When you look at the statues and things that have shown this, exactly the same kind, and it doesn't match any other kind because that was something different back then. It's weird. Anyway, that's all kinds of stuff I've shown over the years. Anyway, not getting all that right now, but again, that's 7/9, which is hiding 7, 1 plus 8, the pre-day of the timeline. And then we have 8, again, 9 plus 4 is 13. The same thing I showed you. 8/4, 8/1 from 3 is 2, and 8, rule of law, take the 1 away, you have 8/3. And that's the same thing here with this, but they also, again, have 8, August 2nd, August 1st, 1st and 2nd, and August 3rd. Crazy. And then to prove this here, another thing, and I couldn't have gone even farther, but I want to get done with this video and not make it super long. The signing of the real beginning of the United States was when they signed the Declaration of Independence on not on July 4th, but on August 2nd. Okay, August 2nd is the beginning and the end of the United States. I'm telling you, looks like it. It looks like it is. Because if you go August 2nd, 1776, when they actually, and anybody who knows contracts, when you sign a contract, that's when it begins. Unless there's a 3-day right of rescission or something like that. But it's technically when you sign it. And what happened there? Anyway, to August 2nd, 2025, 249 years. And I've already shared some of this on my past videos, why 249 is massive. 24 times 9 is 216. Barack Obama was born on the 260th day of the year. 24 divided by 9 is 2.666 or 266. And the Pope is the 266th Pope, so it's both of them on this day going to third. A bunch of stuff. It's just 24 plus 9 is 33. 33 degree Masons, 33. They were really big into 33. Jesus was 33 when he died, and I mean, all that kind of stuff. But I want to get into this real quick because I could get a lot more. I'm just not going to get into it right now. But I want to hit this real quick about the United States and how you're being programmed on the flag and everything. The flag is red, white, and blue. Watch. First letter code is RWAB. 182312. First letter code. Watch. 8. 1 and 1 is 2. And then 23 plus 2 is 25. The beginning, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, 1776, and then the end of the United States on 8/2/25 is all in your face. And then red, white, and blue also spelled out in gematria, full reduction and reverse full reduction. It just happens to be 8/3, and 7 is 2 plus 5, or 25. That's all a coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, how about the real Pentecost? The real Pentecost. Okay, another massive evidence that this is the time, August 2nd and August 3rd, the real Pentecost. It's not a year after the Feast of Trumpets happened, around the Revelation 12 sign, and even a year after, when nothing happened after that, I started divorcing myself of that idea because I was realizing that Pentecost was never really fulfilled. The Spirit came down as tongues of fire and all that. They got born again for the first time, and then it wasn't completed. It wasn't fulfilled. Okay, I'm not going to get into all the details on that right now, but what I'm going to share is that, first of all, the Pentecost is Shavuot. Pentecost and Shavuot are the same thing. Look at Shavuot. Look, 8/3/25. That's a massive coincidence? I don't think so. And let me show you how this works. So, also pinned, in my description box below the title, on the very top, I'm gonna put up there the link to Michael Shabbat Ministries video of his where he explains how they get to the real first of the year. Not January 1st. It's not the real first of the year. That's in winter. The real first of the year on the Hebrew calendars and all that is in spring. But the real first of the year is based on God's creation calendar. God's creation calendar, which is based on the sun, moon, and stars, like in Genesis that talks about the sun, moon, and stars are for times and seasons and God's appointed times, the Moedim, and all that. Okay, that's what the sun, moon, and stars are. They're a big clock. Okay, and to interpret that, you need to understand what the Bible says about it and also what the sun, moon, and stars are for. And he explains it very well. I figured a lot of this stuff out before I found him and his details, but he added to my understanding and things, and I recommend it if you want to know about that. But technically, the first of the year, the first of this year is April 13th, because it's when certain things line up. And I'm not gonna get into all that because I have to explain a lot. The full moon, it's always the lights. The light of the full moon on this day right here, because a lot of things lined up celestially. Okay, not gonna explain all that right now. Again, you can look at this video if you want. And then the sunrise of the next day. So this is the full moon right here, and the sunrise of the next day makes the first day. So, and then if you want to get to Passover, the 14th day of the first month, that's the first day. So then you add 13 more days, or add 14 days to this day, which is kicking in the first year. Hopefully that makes sense. So this is the first day, or add 13 days of this, and you get the Passover is 4/26, the 14th day of the first month. And 4/26 just happens to be when this false nugget has his funeral, like a false sacrifice, like a, yeah, yep. And he technically died on 420, and it was reported on 421. It was 420 over here when it was 421 over there. And he technically died on Easter. God, are you kidding me? And his funeral was now here on, based on the sun, moon, and stars. God's creation clock was on Passover, the false Passover lamb, symbolically bull crud. Okay, now watch this. In Leviticus 23, it gives us the count, and ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath. So the 14th day of the first month is 2 Sabbaths. The first day to the seventh day is the Sabbath, and then the 14th day going to Passover is a Sabbath. Every 7th day is a Sabbath. So the 14th day, which is Passover, is a Sabbath. The next day is when you count from, and from the day that you brought the sheep. So the next day after the Sabbath or Passover is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and you brought the sheaf of the wave offering. And then you count on that day after the Sabbath or day after Passover, you count, that begins the first day, and you count 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. And then it says in the next verse, 16, even unto the morrow, again, it doubles down on this, even unto the morrow, the next day after the seventh Sabbath shall number 50 days. Okay, so you basically count 7 Sabbaths after Passover, and then 50 days. And then that's Pentecost or Shavuot. So let me show you this again. So that's Passover. The next day starts the first day count of 7 Sabbaths. 7 Sabbaths is 7 7-day periods. 7 times 7 is 49, or 7 Sabbaths. And then you count 50 days. That's what he just said. See, silly Christians who think that you can get Easter in 3 days from Friday to Sunday, which is just 2 days. Okay, silly Christians that are in churchianity. Christ was in the ground for 3 days and 3 nights. You cannot fit 3 days and 3 nights in between Friday, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday. Those are 2 full days. You can't do it. You can't do it. Okay, you're not using your brain if you think you have not thought this through. Okay, it's in same logic. It's not 50 days from Passover. The Bible literally says 7 Sabbaths plus 50 days. And 50 represents the name Pentecost, which was added to this, but it's really Shavuot. But people call it Pentecost because of the 50, but it's not 50 days after Passover. It's 49. It says it. I just read it. 49, 7 Sabbaths plus 50 days, and that equals August 3rd. And if you include the day in the count, it's August 2nd. August 2nd, 3rd, what I've been talking about this whole video, August 2nd is August 3rd. And what's 49 plus 50? It's 99. And why is 99 important? Because it's so important. It represents the birth of the man-child into heaven, or rapture and all that. Watch. Because the birth of the man-child into heaven was represented by Jupiter exiting out of Virgo just 14 days before the Revelation 12 sign. Jupiter exited between the legs of Virgo on 9/9/2017. 99, 99, see that? And 99 equals Jupiter that exited Virgo on 9/9. It was 9/8 and 9/9. On 9/8 it started exiting, and then it was out by 9/9. Okay? And 99 equals rapture, and 99 equals queen dies, because the depiction of Lily dropping the apple in iPad Goat is Lilibet is the queen giving birth to the Antichrist, because she has DNA that she gave partially to the clone of Akhenaten that Stinky B.O. is, and so that makes him an actual descendant of the tribe of Dan, because he has some DNA from the queen, and I know this from massive research. And he's a tribe of Dan. They're Danites. The royal families are Danites, and she donated some of her DNA to when they made him when she was very young. When they made him, cloned him. And then he's technically in DNA from the tribe of Dan. So that's why 99. And then judgment equals 99. Again, 9 in biblical numerology, 9 is judgment. And then 2 nines is established. 2 is a number for establishment. That's why disciples went out on Tuesday, established the word of God. And then 2 nines is the established judgment. So this is established judgment. And then the last 99 I'm going to show you is the 99 in reverse ordinal, which is 44, because she dies giving birth to the 44, which is the 44th Pres, Stinky B.O. Okay? No Obama. Barack insane Obama. Call him Beelzebub Butthead. All kinds of names I have for him. So do you see that? See that? It said about Pentecost. It said, or Shavuot, tongues of fire came down. Does this remind you of anything? I found this picture, and this artwork is crazy. This reminds me of tongues of fire. Think about a fiery tongue coming down upon you, and that would be a symbol, kind of on the down low, of when the bride would leave. When missiles come down, the faithful go up, or the balance of the bride goes up, the rest of the bride goes up, because part of it, the 144 will already be leaving about a few days before. And that's all in these downloadable documents below the title in the description box. But think about this. Think about nuke in a sense. Think about even meteors coming down, fiery tongues. Okay, it's symbolic. It wasn't like that. It was all good. But think about why fire? Why fiery tongues? Because it was a hint of, hey, when Pentecost is actually complete, this is when it started. When it's complete, fire will be coming down. Hello, like missiles, like nukes, like meteors. Do you get it? Hello, McFly. Please get it. Okay, and so thank you. I want to thank you for everyone who's ever given to this ministry by, praying, by, sharing these videos, positive comments. I mean, any even constructive some disagree without being jackwagons about it. I mean, you don't have to do that. And if you're jackwagon about anything, you're gone in 2 seconds. Don't even bother, because I will not tolerate horrible people saying stupid things. And man, I have had some of the worst stuff I could ever even. I've had death threats and such, and against my family, all kinds of stuff. It's preposterous. It's horrible. It's ludicrous. What stuff I've been put under for a long time for warning people legitimately about what stuff's coming. And if you, again, like I've warned for years that Trump was on the wrong side. He's not a good, they're all, every bit of them, all both sides of left, right, whatever, all that side, they're all, because, I mean, what just came out? Epstone, which means Ep and really Steen. Epstone, okay, the list. And he said he was going to put it out, and now I've shared video after video in the past how they're linked completely, how they were hugging each other, they were good best buddies. He's on the list. I mean, and you didn't listen to me, and now this whole list and everything, it never was. It was a concoction of Obama and all these people and all this. There was never any list. There's nothing like that. He's not part of any of that. Oh, please. If you can't now see, and when he dies and he doesn't come back to life, and even the people that think he's an antichrist or the people think he's a good guy and all that, when he dies and then that's it, you'll see what I've been telling you for all this time, that he is evil to the core, and he's not really who he says he is in any way, shape, matter, or form. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. And also, I just want to ask if you're able to at all support this, what I do, my ministry. I have a link in the description box below. Description box below. Yeah, I get those two confused with the timeline sometimes. The timeline is pinned to the top of comments, and the link to help, me and my family, because we always need to. If this time frame is about to happen in a few days, then we're good. But if it's not, and again, it's my best guess, then we always need help. We need support. If you're able to give it all, there's a link in the description box for PayPal and even Zelle Pay. We can get through ZellePay.com, and you can send money for free through Zelle Pay or PayPal, that kind of thing. So we really appreciate it. This is how we survive, and we barely survive. I mean, especially the last 6, 7, 8 months. I mean, it's been very, very tough. Oh my goodness, the Lord stretched me and my family like you wouldn't believe, because I mean, some of you are familiar with that completely, and maybe even worse than I am. But it's been hard. I've been doing this for 20 some years. It's definitely since I started talking to the Lord, and then He's had me just do all this crazy stuff and go any which way and go anywhere, switch jobs, do this, do that. I mean, I did all this stuff for years and trusted Him. And it's been absolutely crazy. He's done miracles after miracles after miracles because I just would have this crazy trust. But that's what He does. And so, but it's not easy. It's not easy. It's still not easy. I thought it would get easier. In some ways it has, but other ways it's very difficult to trust him on every single little thing. Imagine not being know what you can buy and all this stuff because you don't know what you're going to get. And then when you get stuff, you're on the edge, and then sometimes you go backwards almost, and then at the last minute you're saved all the time. All the time. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying to people, it's hard. Well, maybe I'm complaining a little bit, but it's hard. And I'm just telling you that, please, if you're able to give, please, we need it. I mean, don't think I'm sitting back and getting all this cash and stuff. I don't monetize my channel. I never have. If you ever see video ads, it's because I got to a certain amount of views, which is super rare, and then they add ads all of a sudden, which I have no control over. I've never done that. I've never sold out to any of that stuff because some of these ads are horrible, and I would never support most of the things that are out there. And I've always just said, the Lord told me, just ask. That's what He wants me to do, and just ask. A workman's worthy of his reward and all that stuff. And if I, give you spiritual things, shall I not reap your carnal things? That's what the Bible says and all that. And I don't throw that. This is the first time I ever said any of that. So I don't throw that out there. I don't say this or that. I just ask, and that's it. And then He takes care of it in people, and all that. That's how it's always been. So I'm just explaining that because I really covet your gifts. I really do, because I have a family that needs them. And we just struggle a lot of times. So I just thank you, and I thank the faithful ones also that are given regularly. I can't even thank you enough. If I could bleed for you, I feel like I already bleed for you. If I could bleed for you, I would. Because you saved, some of you even more recently have saved me. You know who you are, the G's. You saved us. Ultimately God saves, and He's doing this stuff through people, but people deserve it. They're going to get rewards for this. And I thank God. And I'll be standing in line thanking them in the future and in heaven and stuff for people giving when you didn't have to. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for just sharing this video. And I just hope this happens in a few days. I'm ready. I'm tired of doing all this stuff. Yeah, anyway, we'll leave it at that. This is emotional for me. I'm so tired right now, but I'm also somewhat energized at the same time. So thank you for putting up with me. And the ones who are going to give me horrible comments, don't even bother, because you'll be deleted. So just deal with that. And this is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless you. Over and out.